Hello, and welcome to episode 247 of Prog Review. And today, if you haven't read the title and description, I'm talking about Fish and his Feast of Consequences album. This was gifted by Mr. Rick Gay. Thank you, Rick. And then I'm going to review this, and you'll say, I ain't send that bastard any more CDs, the ungrateful git. There's a reason why I don't buy Fish albums. And this is it. You see, I like Fish. I always have it on a Friday. I'm a good Christian, with chips and a gherkin. But no, that's just being daft now. No, I like Fish. Mr. William Dick. I love him very much. Who doesn't like a bit of Dick now and again? But this album, this is where, because I said goodbye around the Suits era, I think it was. That was the last full-priced album I bought from Fish, because I basically had enough. I've heard bits and bobs, on YouTube of his recent stuff, and it's okay, and he's still a live presence, and I've got an awful lot of respect for what he did with Marillion. But even at the end of Marillion, with stuff like Warm Wet Circles and the almost sixth form poetry that he was delivering as lyrics became a little tiresome. And this goes on with this. I mean, a Perfume River opens with bagpipes. Well, not real bagpipes, probably synthesised bagpipes on the keyboard. But I pinched myself, and I couldn't believe that we were going down that road again. Internal exile, we'd already been there, all that nationalism stuff. So I was, oh boy. And then the rest of the album, again, Mr. Fish, he's very much social topic of the day, and he delivers All Loved Up, which is a comment on, I guess, internet fame and how the youth of today are obsessed with selfies and being famous, and it kind of relates back to the similar to what he was doing on Vigil on the Wilderness of Mirrors, I Like to Watch, whatever it was called. Analyst Analyze, I like to watch. I can't remember the name of that's not the title of the song. That's what's in the parentheses, isn't it? But no. So he picks a topic, and it's like shooting fish in a barrel. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, and so that's what we're getting, because I'm sure it wasn't cynical. Because we're heading towards like the centenary of the Great War. We have a whole slab of song dedicated to the fighting and the soldiers, and it's delivered in the usual verbose style of Mr. Dick. And again, it just wears me down. It's like it's Chinese water torture, but with words. And I'm a believer of the less is more. I mean, if you're going to write poetry, go and write poetry. But sometimes lyrics are about leaving bits out and using imagery and metaphor and stuff like that. And creating a picture. And it just, nobody ever says to him, for Christ's sake, will you stop now? Will you just stop? And again, the music isn't really, you have the odd military drum beat thing going on, and it's all rather tired. Again, the music is, I find it quite pedestrian, compared with what's going on. I mean, again, if you compare like for like, if you compare what Marillion does to what Fish does, the music is superior. They're superior musicians, and all Fish has got is his dictionary and thesaurus. That's all he's got. That's all he's got going for him. And war is stupid, and people are stupid, and so I mean, on a parallel thing, I've been writing about the Great War and trench warfare. I was commissioned, dear old missus, she commissioned me write a piece about it for this special magazine they're producing. So I've been living it for a while, and then to have this come along, I didn't feel it. I just didn't feel it. I just felt like he was doing his homework. He'd been asked by his history master to write about the Great War, and off he went. And that was it. And I'm sure it's all very sincere and all very meaningful, but it didn't touch me. And it comes slap bang in the middle of the album. The album is 1 hour, 5 fucking minutes long. Oh. And this big, suite of songs about the Great War is like kind of dolloped right in the middle. It's just like plopped right there. And it's bookended by The Other Side of Me, which is absolutely dull, and The Great Unravelling, which is what I felt. I felt I was coming unravelled by the end of this. And really, I think, again, if the album was shorter, with a few less words and more fucking melodies that you can whistle, it would be a much better thing. And also, if the actual main song slab, if it had just done a whole album dedicated to the Great War, I'd have gone, no, okay, fair enough. But then to have it diluted somewhat by these other songs misses the point. I think he's changed the track order on the vinyl version, and that might be probably a better meal to sit at, And just, I find some of his phraseology in terms of like a feast of consequences, we can actually say like the collective term for his discography is a shower of shit, couldn't we? But yeah, so we have all this clever stuff, and I just don't find it that clever. Just don't find it that interesting, really. I'm sorry. And this is why, when you do compare it to what Marillion do, because I'm a Marillion fan, currently Marillion fan, and they do some shite albums too. They have a run of like good album, and then they have a couple of really shitty albums, and then they have a decent one again. So I'm not going to let them, they're not the Golden Boys, but at least they try and do something different, and you get the feeling that they're reaching for something else. And if you compare, what they're doing now to what they were doing, in 1990, at least it's different. And again, Fish's voice is shot. He can't emote anymore. He might as well be reading the bloody Chinese, menu for his local restaurant or something. And that's it. That's what I mean. There is nothing wrong with the album. If you like Fish, you're going to love this. This is his greatest work ever. But this is why I don't come back, because he's very much of a time. He's very much of a moment. He's almost like a nostalgia act. I don't think he's got anything really relevant to say, and But I do like the guy. This is the problem. I follow him. I admire him for what he does and his work ethic, but his work doesn't speak to me. And that's a great shame, and I wish it did. And I wish I could be a part of it. I feel like I'm missing out, but there's a part of me that just can't relate to it. And I have problems with all these lyrics, and and he just he needs to just pare it back and make it. The medium is the message, somebody said once, and I think here, I think he wants to be a poet, and he's confused poetry with lyrics, and I think what he writes would be great in a book of poems. I think that'd be great, and you should get into it, and because if you read the words, they're good, but as a song, it's just like static. But when I read the lyrics, I thought they were really good. Oh, Darren, you're a contradictory bastard, aren't you? So yeah, I've got to give this a rating. Oh, I don't want to do this. Oh dear. Right, okay. It covers the Great War, so that's a good thing. It's verbose, beyond comprehension. The music is weak. Some of the ideas are old, but he's consistent. That's a good thing. At least he's consistent. So I'm going to go down the middle. I'm going to go down the middle and give this 2.5 thistles out of 5. It's 2.5 thistles out of 5, and all you Fish fans can rip me a new one. I don't care. That's fair enough. It's just an opinion. It's just an opinion. We've all got to like different things, you know, and I'm glad that you like this, and I'm glad that you support the guy. But I checked out a long time ago, and that's the reason why. And yeah, and that's it really. And I wish people wouldn't make albums that are an hour and 5 minutes long. I wish they'd go back to 45 minutes or 40 minutes, because life's too fucking short. It really is. It's too short. So that's it. My name's been Darren Locke. I've been whittering on inanely about The Feast of Consequences by Mr. Fish. And that's that really. And hopefully all you Fish fans out there will look into your heart and forgive me. And you know, pro the union. We won't give it back without a fight. A little bit of politics there. A little bit of politics. You'll be lost without us, Scotland. You'll be lost without us. That's why we are United Kingdom. This is why we are Great Britain. Because we are great together. And apart, well, it's going to be sad. But at least we won't have to listen to any more Fish albums. Yeah. And with that, I'll say one more thing. Apart from subscriber count goes down. And thumbs up. Everyone's thumbs in down. Okay, you Sassenach. Okay. And that's that. Only one more thing. I think I've alienated enough people. Only one more thing to say, and that is Prog on. I should have done it with my best Billy Connolly. Wee jobby.